Hello and welcome back to The Great Cricketer. Hey, if you like these daily videos, get around it, give it a like, give it a subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow and all day forever. All days forever. This episode, though, is, as they all are, brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry is he. Morning to you, Pez.
And morning to you, Ian.
Thank you, mate. England won the toss. They thought, we're going to send these blokes in. That's an alpha move, and it sort of paid off. They rolled India for 191. Is that a rolling? I'm not sure. It's sort of mid-territory, isn't it? England finished the day 53-4-3. Pez, can I put the day to you in grade terms?
I want you to.
Captain Piggy's mates. And the big story of the day, Pez, to start things off, no Ashwin. Where's Ashwin? He's getting his own likes and subscribes on YouTube.
I want to put it to you, Higgins, just on the Ashwin thing.
Yeah.
And this is partly informed by the fact that this day's cricket was so good, and this test match is so set up. It was
a great day.
So beautifully set up.
Set up.
It was a bold selection from Kohli and co. It's now looking justified a little bit. I'm an enormous believer in the right horse for the right course.
Yeah.
Mate, I saw the sky overhead, and I'm colourblind, and I could tell it was the right colour for seam and swing. England picked one spinner. He's a bit of a frontliner, but not really. They want seamers in there. I think India's entitled to do the same thing as well. I like that India, as they showed throughout the day, they're prepared to be bright, they're prepared to innovate. This is not about sentiment. Yeah, we can make up some Kohli Ashwin stuff. You know, they're not looking at each other in photos or whatever.
Watch me.
But you can't go with two spinners into that, as the conditions showed. You can't go with two spinners, and you're not going to drop Jadeja in that circumstance. And so Ashwin misses out.
Well, Jadeja's number 5 stick. You can't drop number 5.
Exactly, you can't drop number 5.
And he's a lunchtime watchman.
So I say good on India, and I hope that they're rewarded for being bright, as they already have shown to be throughout this game.
I suppose it was interesting because they made 2 changes, India. They brought in Yadav for Shami and Lord Takur, just like Nelly Hot and Horror for Ishan. So they made 2 changes and still no Ashwin.
Yeah.
Still no Ashwin.
But you can't, listen, it's horse for course. India's serious about winning this. It's hard to win in England. You couldn't go with 2 spinners just because he's got 400 test bowls. They're going to talk about Ashwin on day 3 or 4 because I think the batting's going to get easier. Yeah. But there's too many rewards on offer if you can swing or seam the ball. Sorry.
I thought at the toss, Kohli was asked, where's Ashwin? Where is he? He said, I don't know. Who? Which one's that? He said that they wanted to, that England got 4 left-handers in the team, and that's a nice matchup for Jadeja. What? Well, there's 3 in the top 7. There's
I
changed
what I say now. That's a gaslight.
Burns, Milan, and Mo Ali, and then obviously Anderson as well, batting 11 or whatever. But yeah, 4 in the 11, 3 in the top 7. No, it's a good matchup for Jadeja. That's a gaslight. You're gaslighting us for that.
Well, mate.
Well played. I like it though.
It's a sensational day of cricket.
Yeah.
In England, 240 runs, 13 wickets, the correct shades of brooding skies and the rouge seed, a pitch with character, skill rewarded, honours even, in my view, at the end of the day's play.
What about this though? Now we're trying to figure out how England were going to get back at India for preparing those unfair pitches over there. And so what they've done is they've gone, okay, we're going to get 4 test matches to the series, and your best player, he ain't even going to be picked. That's what they've done. 500s for Ashwin, 5 test centuries for Ashwin, 400 wickets, whatever.
Well, mate,
he ain't going to play.
We need Ashwin for the batting. Well, guess who came in for him? Lord Takur.
Yeah.
57 of the best.
The Lord.
The fastest 50 on English soil.
Good stuff.
Beating Lord Botham.
Well, just sticking with the teams though, Pez. England, they brought in Wokes for Curran, Pope in for Butler. So it's a stronger team. So it was all sent in. And let's go into the second thing, Pez. India were sent in. Were they dobbed in? Was that a dobbing in?
Absolutely. It was a
I'm going to tell on you. You've got a bat now. That's how everyone talks now in cricket.
England basically kept the same. They didn't rest Anderson and Robinson.
No rest.
They wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll bite them a little bit down the track, especially given India were able to bring in guys that dented the match straight away. Takur runs. Yadav got roots pole, which we'll talk about later.
Right.
And India were looking good, 28 for no loss, coming along well, but then England built into it. Wokes came on, wicket in his first over. All of a sudden, it's 54 for 3, which is what happens. That's first day cricket in England.
53 for 4 was the score at lunch in the last test match over there in Headingley. I thought Wokes sensational.
Yeah.
So good.
455 comeback.
And he got a bit of tap from the Lord at the end there. So he ruined his figures. He had a couple of drop catches. It was interesting because Kohli scored a 50.
Yeah.
and dropped on 22 by Root. And I wonder if that could have turned things. I'm not sure what the score was at the time, but I know Kohli was on 22 at the time, and he went on to score 50, and I thought that was 50 crucial runs. There's a big conversation about when's Kohli going to score 100 again. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Probably. But I thought that was a crucial 50 runs in really tough conditions.
He looked good. He looked good, Kohli. And just on that drop catch as well, they were picking this up on TV. It fucking swung. They dropped 5 catches, England. But it was some tough catching out there. It swung away from Rudy.
Tough catching conditions.
It was.
It actually was.
But that's the beauty of cricket in England. It tests your skills so much.
Yeah.
I thought Kohli looked really good. I thought my favourite of his shots. I mean, he smashed some cover drives and some off drives at times, but the getting off the mark to Anderson with that on drive. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was good. And you know, when you can eke out 50 and you're still struggling a bit, like it still looks like his technique is not there to survive for 100 runs against Anderson and co. But to get 50 in those circumstances, I just think there's a lot to be positive about for India. This is not a likes comment. Like, to go from collapsing in those circumstances in the last game against pretty much the same attack plus Wokes now to eke out 190, that shows resilience. Yeah, you know, I think they took that energy into when they bowled.
I thought that drop catch off Root, it was interesting because at the time I think it was it Atherton? I know Warren was on commentary and calling Joe Root and Joe Burns as a combination. And I've never said anything wrong, so I can pick on Shane, who's got 700 test wickets. 708.
708.
That I saw at the time, I was like, no, that's swung. Yeah. That's really taken off. And like, I like it when wicketkeepers in England, they made to look like they're 5th grade wicketkeepers, standing that awkward distance between not at the stumps, not standing back, like at the end of the cut Astro pitch. Yes. And we're all catching like that.
It swung and almost seemed to speed up. You know how it does that? Yeah. The ball just gets
and the satisfaction about 2 overs later when Wokes nicked off Jadeja at second slip, and then he's called it, he's like, it's a fucking swung again.
Exactly, he's angry as he called it.
Satisfaction about, I've taken that, but fucking swung. I'm mad about it. I'm mad about how I've taken the catch. That's the kind of form Root's in. He's seeing him so big.
And I want you to know that I've still taken it.
I'm still taking it. I'm going to hold it.
Yeah.
I like as well Kohli's cover drive off Anderson, his first one. That was the last ball of the over, and Anderson's bowled it. And because obviously the umpires aren't holding hats anymore because of COVID. And he's just bowled the ball. And as soon as he bowled it, he just started walking to fine leg. Just like, put his head down. He's like, I'm off. Perfect. Hey, Lord SHARDUL, though.
Yeah.
57 off 36, as you rightfully said. Fastest half century at the Oval. We saw him score in Australia. 67 in the first innings of the Gabba, batting with Washi there. He's only played 4 tests. He's already got 2 50s. And he's doing the job with the ball as well. I thought India's 190 on 191. I think that's a good score. I think what happened was in Headingley, they lost the game in the first. They lost it just about at lunch. 4 wickets in that first session, it was over, especially with the long tail. And I think that long tail is also still a problem because they got themselves...
190 for 7.
There were some funny shots from the Lord here. There were some funny shots.
Great shots.
He played a belter off Wokes on the up, on drive, and there was some other shit where he was fucking doing this. Good gear, but they got to 190, and that can happen in Test cricket sometimes. Some guy just plays a blinder, and then they lost the last 3 wickets for 1 run. They could have got to 210, 215.
Yeah, but they were 127 for 7.
Of course, of course.
Thanks to the bloke who came before the Lord, Rishabh.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yes. So for the Lord, we're going to get into sort of the afternoon session.
Well, No, go on.
Afternoon runs. He muscled the ball away. I thought his shapes were good, and there was a little bit of whippage there as well, a bit of helicopter stuff.
Yeah. It was
a brilliant innings.
A nod of the cap to MS Dhoni, you're suggesting?
Guess so. Is that going the title?
Does that help?
Yeah. Is there a subscription in that?
Yeah. Is the Lord better than MS? What about? I agree. What about Jadeja coming in at 5, mate? What was Rahane doing? Just taking a big old dump,
mate. It was a left-hander thing, obviously, and it was a concession that for that phase of the innings, India have been all at sea, and they've obviously gone. And it's a little bit of a T20 IPL progression, I think, where they've gone. We'll need to bring in a left-hander there. Yeah. He wasn't carded at 5, Jadeja. And I think it speaks to their minds being bright. They're being proactive. They're trying to change things where they need to. They're prepared to do the things they need to do to win in England, and they're conceding with humility, which is what you've got to do away from home. That you can't just play your own blueprint cricket.
Sure.
If something's not working, try something different. And that's the
agree.
strength of this squad as well. I know it sounds like I'm being really positive about India, but I'm a big fan of when you get pumped and England have got a roll on and it's so hard to play there, to actually be prepared to do things differently to see if you get a different result. And they've actually been rewarded, like by not picking Ashwin. Yadav's taken the big pole. Takur's done those runs. You know, Jadeja in at 5. You've got to try some things sometimes. And look, it didn't come off because he gets out straight after lunch. But in a way, I think going in at 54 for 3, not having completely lost the game just yet, just helps them a little bit. And, you know, we're going to get to the afternoon, can we? Because... I thought that... You want to say something about Jadeja?
I want to say many things about many things.
Please.
I thought that... I think like being sent in England especially, I can hear our English audience being like, boys, we're fucking way in control of this game. I don't think that's true. Because I don't think that's true because I think even if England make 250, I feel like India are actually ahead slightly because I think so many times away teams lose this game. And I think this is a huge game for India because if they don't win this series... When are they going to win? England a depleted side completely, heaps of injuries. They've been in England for 3 months. They've had heaps of time to prepare. They'll never get this opportunity again to prepare in England, I wouldn't have thought. They played so well in the first 2 test matches. Now they've lost the third test handsomely to square the series. Now they get sent in. There's some backs to the wall stuff here going on, and I feel like they've done so well to hang into the game, and now it's set up so perfectly. So let's get into the afternoon session.
The afternoon, mate. Like, so when I was watching Takur score his runs, like the wicket had just flattened out a little bit. You could just tell, and because the lacquer come off the ball and it was a bit older,
catching off.
It was a little bit of cashing after T runs for Takur,
right? And
then I thought that would flow into England's batting. I was really curious about that. I think England tried to counter-attack a little bit. Burns on one knee, cover driving early in the dappled autumn light of the oval as it's flattening out. You know, the patrons have downed their 6th green king or old speckled hen, starting to cheer quite loudly.
Yes. Wake me up when September ends.
And the shot that Burns got out to, it didn't, you know, he sort of just got the shot wrong. And then Hamid tries to fucking uppercut Bumrah the next ball or 2 balls later, way too close to his body. It did spit a bit, but the shot's not there. Bang, bang, England the 2 for in comes Joe Root. Now, Joe Root, look, he was playing it off his dick.
First ball.
Bang. And just the way he ran down the wicket, head down. And I was looking at Bumrah when he played that shot, and it's just like, oh, here we fucking go again. And then the new selection that nobody expected, Yadav, bowled an absolute fucking seed to him 2 overs before the end of the day. It changes the game. Root out. That was the main thing I look for in the scorecard in the morning. Just like, is Root out gone 20?
Yeah.
Overton's in. And, you know, when that ball got Root, you could hear Root. He goes like, oh. So reminded, like, 10 years older, my 5-year-old brother gets me out. Just did not expect it in any way.
Dad.
That's an informed man surprised.
Mate, Umesh Yadav is boys.
Yeah.
Like, he's boys in the sense that, like, I can just see him. He's the first on the group text to get all his mates around. It's all boys.
Yes.
And he just wants to crush tins. Just crush tins of beer. Probably doesn't drink. With his mates.
Yeah. Figuratively speaking.
Yeah, exactly. Watch the footy. Doesn't want to talk to any women, but somehow still has an absolute glamour, an absolute worldie of a misso. Somehow. He's just boys. Yadav is just boys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean boys. I don't mean that. He's boys.
He's boys?
Yeah, he's absolute boys.
Is it just the shape of it, the way it moves?
It's the necklaces. It's the arrangement of tattoos.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy.
He's a big old boy. Don't worry about that. They got some big, thick boys in India.
Yeah. Well,
not enough thickness in England. It's all lean.
The England team,
yeah.
Not enough thickness.
Not enough thickness. Anyway,
Joffrey's pretty lean these days.
He is lean, yeah. He's big, but lean.
But lean.
Yeah.
He could do with a little bit of... I'm sure he's thick, you know.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I thought when I thought Yadav coming to. I thought Yadav was just on the absolute beach, metaphorically speaking, for this tour. I thought he was just going to give throwdowns, having a couple of pims. Again, probably doesn't drink, whatever.
He's got a very winsome smile as well.
But he's just
very expressive face.
When he came in the Australian summer, I was just like, oh, we've seen him before. He's no good. He's come in again. He's just ready to go.
Yeah.
Wonderful squad.
But that ball to get Root, and then that...
Jaffa.
It's again, you know, I know we say this all the time, but... That batting to me this afternoon, like yesterday afternoon, that looked like dappled light flattening out. There's a counter, like there's a bit of good batting to be had. I know there's some good balls, and I reckon the next 2 days, if the weather's okay, there's some good batting to be had. So, England 53 for 3.
Yeah.
Overton is the night watchman. You know, if you knock him over, you got Ollie Pope coming in, who hasn't faced a ball this series. You're opening up an end there. Dale Milan's only in his 2nd test. But it can go the other way as well. If England can survive that first session unscathed, I reckon there's a real cash in coming up for the bat after this first session, and whoever can win that first one is going to set themselves up.
If Ollie Pope has to bat in the first half hour, he hasn't played a first class game in ages,
mate.
Dan Lawrence is of the two of those guys. He's the only one who's played in the last few months. He played last week and he got 30 or something. So Ollie Pope hasn't batted in ages, and he didn't look great against New Zealand. He hasn't looked good for a long time. He failed miserably.
Oh, mate,
so
the three
he struggled in India, but
three Indian quicks will be licking their chops.
They'll be licking their chops,
licking their absolute chops. Someone put that on Reddit.
Hashtag AskTGC brought to you by Acco. Ragged a bit writes in. Our dear friends from Patreon would know Raggo. He said, hashtag AskTGC. Boys. Said in the voice and inflection of Gollum saying, my precious. Hope I did that justice. I don't know. Dear Tupez Shakur and Notorious HIG, I want to draw your attention back to Tim Payne's infamous can't wait to get you to the Gabba sledge to Ashwin at the SCG. At least my teammates like me, dickhead, quipped Timothy jovially. Is it possible that Ashwin's teammates don't really like him after he's not been selected for basically this entire England series despite being possibly the best all-round player on his team? So was Payne right? Ravi Ashwin replied with, come to India, it'll be a last series, perhaps foreshadowing that the next India series may be his own last series. Was the exchange between Payne and Ashwin the most prophetic series of words ever uttered? And does this prove the grade cricket ethos that what you are like as a bloke is way more important than your record and performances? Cheers, Raggo.
Hey, you know what? I know you're not meant to. I mean, as Robin, you could go down the Robin Uthapa's sort of approach last night and just start talking about how good everyone is in the Indian side, just like DK. I think there's no doubt at this point anymore that when it comes to Ashwin, there's a bit going on.
It's the what's he like as a bloke.
That's right, but he's going to get other tests in India because he's fucking unplayable. So
yeah, he's got 500s.
And next time they come out here, I'm pretty sure he'll be there. So.
Just getting content. All right, thank you so much as ever for getting around the live stream as well last night.
Yeah.
If you want to go back and watch the live stream, timestamp some of the highlights from last night. So get around that. Thank you to Sarab Punt for joining. Thank you for Robin Utapa for getting around us as well, and thank you also for getting around that. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for day 2. Cheers.